So, our theme of the week apparently is boundaries. So, I'm going to attempt to break down a huge one today. And I hope that you're willing to sit and just kind of vibe with me for a minute and see where this goes. Because it's gonna probably make you angry. And I just hope when you feel that anger, your instant reaction isn't to shut me out, but rather to be open to hearing just a little bit more. Maybe we'll find some common ground before this is over, and I sure hope we do, because this is an exciting one. So, in my boundaries video, I said that, I can see these boundaries around all these entities, right? And one of the most interesting ones to me is the boundaries between religious ideologies and beliefs. It's interesting, and I want to tell you my theory, my experiences, and how I'm seeing this. It's a secret though, guys. I'm letting you in on a secret. This next statement I have is going to make it sound like I have a God complex. And I do this because we have the tendency to label things that we see and to make us more comfortable to understand it. So, it might sound like I have a God complex when I say this. I hope you know that I definitely do not think that I'm a God or anybody special or anybody like above or beneath you. I don't think that at all. But what I'm about to say will sound so radical and not just so right that I feel like there will be someone or a group of people who are so uncomfortable with what I said that they have to silence me because I'm threatening their power, right? And that if this were to get out, that you please, if you agree with me, and I die because I tell you this, please don't make a religion out of me. I take responsibility for my actions. I accept yours, but I refuse to take responsibility for yours because somebody else already did that. So, religions. Which one is right? Which ones are wrong? They're all right, guys. All of them. All of them. And what makes me laugh is with every religion that has been created from somebody just trying to get you guys to vibe with it. Somebody did nothing except for teach, right? And people agreed with that. And then some other people didn't agree with that. So those people came and silenced that person, or didn't. There is a couple of religions I could say that didn't do that, but silenced that person, which made their belief stronger, made theirs more and then so they created another religion, and it just kept boop, 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 right? It's like a puzzle, guys. It's like a puzzle. Everything's like a puzzle, and we all have a piece to this puzzle, and if we're willing to communicate and share those pieces, we're gonna find the ultimate picture. And that scares people because there's some people who already know what that is and are going to use the things that I see and that other people see, but use it to gain power over you. Okay? That is what I've heard referred to as, some people call it the Antichrist, right? There's just a person, guys. That's just a person who's seeing what I'm seeing, okay? But he's keeping it a secret, he or she. They're keeping it a secret because they are able to vibe with it so well and let you get so scared that they're going to keep doing it, and doing it until they got power over you all, okay? Which scares people. That's like everybody's like, they want one world. And it's like, yeah, that's scary because it's one world under the control of one person and people are fallible. So is it a god is like Satan? I don't know. I just don't think so. Because the same way that I'm seeing this, and I know somebody else out there is seeing it, is that I don't want to take power over you. The people that we've made gods, right? Because, I mean, if you think about it, I guess you could say we're all children of God. Whatever God looks like to you, like even if he's a computer programmer and this is a game, like whatever that looks like to you, something made you guys. Something made us. Even if it was just a molecule, if that's your God, if your God is, okay, something did that. And I think that no matter what it was that happened that made this, like all they wanted to do was like care about us, you know? So okay, so what frustrates me about religions is I honestly don't believe any person who is the idol on the top of these strange pyramids that have developed is that they didn't really want that. That was never a desire they had. All they wanted was, yes, one world, but together. They wanted to be with you. They wanted to just talk to you and like hang out with you, have a good time. Like that's what those people were. And I think that the thing with the Jesus one is that he knew that his actions made or was going to make, because he could see the way that how his actions were going to affect things, right? And I think that he could see that his actions were going to cause somebody so much anger, which is a secondary emotion, guys. They felt something before that. They felt fear of losing that power, or like whatever they felt. But he knew that somebody would feel so much fear that they would feel so angry to keep that power that they were going to silence him, right? He knew that was going to happen. And he knew that his actions were making people come together in such a way that they loved and they cared, and it was beautiful. He knew that. And he knew that that person was going to silence him. And he knew that people were going to create this religion under him, and that people were going to kill over that and judge over that and condemn over that. And he knew that. And so since he knew that and was willing to take on that burden, he had to say, okay, if you're going to kill for me, now I have to be willing to die for you. All right? Because that is my consequence for taking on this responsibility. So now, okay, you're going to kill for me, I'm going to die for you. All right? Cool. So that was his path. Buddha's a good one. I like him a lot. He learned to do this thing. And the nirvana that people talk about, it's a state of mind, guys. And I know this because I've experienced this. And some people are like, you're probably like, you sound crazy. And it's just finding that common ground, guys. Like it is. And I've felt nirvana twice in my life. And I always snapped out of it because there was something that was like, what? It's not time yet. Okay. And both times before I felt that ultimate bliss, that peace, I looked crazy. Because I was getting to such a point of understanding that it was everything, that all of a sudden I was just like, and I was cool just being. And that's what Buddha did, because he saw this and knew how to make it stop within himself and just let the world be around him. So he sat. He just let it happen, guys. That's all he did. And everyone's like, no, that didn't happen. Like, you don't know that. You don't know that. But it became such a huge thing that, like, I have a hard time believing it didn't happen. All of these stories, all of these religions, I have a hard time believing that just didn't happen. And the magic or miracles that people talk about, like, I can see how that was a possibility. Like, if you were to tap into that potential so much so that you knew that you doing this action and that people believed in you so strongly because you've shown that you can just, that they believed that you could heal, like that. It's like, you did that, guys. Your belief in something so strong made you believe that you didn't need to be sick anymore, guys. That's all miracles. All it's not magic. It's just, it is science, guys. It's like, it's so cool when you're finally willing to just be like, and the thing that irritates me the most about religions is the violent parts. Like, there's violence and good in all religions because that's just nature. That's human nature. And all these books are trying to show you is how that is going against each other. But the thing is, what we do is, with our religions, is we hoard all the good stuff and say, I'm going to keep this. While simultaneously trying to be like, but you need this. Which is when our violence comes out. They need to see this! And we're just attacking each other over these people who are just like, guys, just love each other. And I'm talking about the gods, right? Because they did it to such a way that it was like, ooh, right? But we have silenced people trying to get us to that point for so long. We don't know how far Martin Luther King would have went. We don't know how far JFK would have gone. Like, these people, all of us have the potential to be this. We really do. And when I think about the crucifixion of Jesus, like, it makes me, I'm like, what, guys, what? Like, okay, try to understand me. Had we as a people not intervened and felt some type of way and acted and made that stop, who knows what would have happened? Who knows? He may not have been considered a god. We would have just known the guy. Like, he was living among us. He helped us. Like, that's it. But because of our actions, we created all these fears and all these consequences all the time. And I'm just tired of the consequences. All these boundaries that we're setting up are legitimately in our imagination, guys. And unless you're willing to take them down, you will not be able to see the other side. And if we cannot see the other side, we are never going to see the whole picture. And if we can't see the whole picture, we're just going to keep until there's just nothing. Nothing except for little cubicles, guys. Little cubicles everywhere. That's it. That's it. But just imagine living in a world where all of those boundaries are gone and we can just lay and look at the stars, guys. Or go to the stars. Like, anything's possible. It really is. So, and people who use, the thing I like about Buddhism and Hinduism and stuff is because what Buddha did was, since his way to get to his nirvana was to just not act, right? To just let the world happen. Of course, violence couldn't come from that because their dogma is don't act. Experience. See. Feel. Don't act. And I'm talking about, like, never, like, just, they're so good at it, guys. Like, think about it. Another one. Gandhi. He was so good at not acting that the world around him could not affect him, that the dude could set himself on fire and not feel it, and he was just letting the world happen around him. Oh my gosh, guys, it's not fake. This stuff is real. But we give it this weird, like, like, stop. Sure, it's cool to follow Jesus and love Jesus. He did die for you because he knew that you were going to do something to hurt somebody else. Under his name. If he didn't come down, he wouldn't have had to take that responsibility. And I don't really think he had the decision to come down. None of us did. None of us do. But what people who we remember were just trying to get you to understand is just be together. Just be together. Oh, wait, there's a big one. Love. Yeah? They talk about that all the time. All the time. Literally in this book that people read and use to like, listen to me. It's like, it says the only verse that I really ever decided to remember is the simple statement, God is love. God is love. Everyone's like, what is God? That is it. That's it, guys. Love is this thing that connects us and makes everything just okay. So I laugh. I do laugh when I see the sign that says God hates fags. Like, that makes me laugh because it's like, for me, when I see that, I don't see God hates fags. I see love hates fags. That doesn't go together. Therefore, I don't pay it mind. I don't care. Whatever. I understand the evolution of religion. It's understandable. Your reactions were understandable. Let's just learn from our mistakes, though. Because the more we keep killing people, the more gods we keep creating, and it's getting really confusing. So, there's this one time. At one point in my life, I had this experience where I got labeled schizophrenic. Okay? And I accepted that label because it only made sense. Because at the same time, I accepted the label of atheist. I couldn't believe in something bigger than myself, so I accepted that label too. So the things that I was experiencing, I was like, no, this is just my mind creating this. It's just my mind. Which is true and not true. Okay? So when the people around me, when I did these things, some people labeled them spiritual experiences, a vision, like stuff like that, right? And then the science community and like the atheist community and me was like, no, there's something wrong. I shouldn't be seeing this. You know, I shouldn't be feeling this. It's not normal. I just want to be like everybody else, right? So I got those labels. And I want to tell you about this one in particular because there was this time that I'm going to refer to it as a hallucination because that's an understandable term. It's something that I saw that wasn't possible in this environment, right? And I saw this and it scared me because I was labeling myself atheist at the time. So when this happened, I committed myself, obviously, and medicated myself, which made it not happen again. And I learned something fantastic, which I'm going to share with you. Because, alright, so when I was coming up and under the religious stuff that we do, right, I was going under a certain branch, and things happened in that branch that scared me. You know, they spoke of condemnation, right, and like hell and stuff. And the things that they were condemning were the things that I was feeling. So I started to be like panicked by the concept of hell. It scared me. It did. And I could not sleep at night. Like, I was panicking. Guys, I'm a child, and I'm hearing that you're going to hell because of this. I'm already feeling that. There's no way I can stop this, so I'm going to go to hell. So, like, I'm a child panicking. What? Like, all the time. And that's how I grew up, guys. So, of course, I was like, no, I'm an atheist because I don't want to believe something that makes me feel like that. Like, so it was easiest to just cut it off. and just ignore it, turn my back. It was the easiest way. So, but at the same time, like, I was still feeling these things, and I believed I was brainwashed for a while, but I think I get it now. So please, if you think I'm brainwashed, like, that's your opinion. But I was still feeling these things, and, like, I felt like I broke up with somebody, right? And I missed it, but there was really, like, I didn't even miss the community. I didn't miss the church. I didn't miss the people. I missed this thing that I was feeling. And it drove me insane. So one night I was, I'm just going to be completely honest with you, because if you're going to be like, it was drugs, then yeah, maybe it was. Guys, I smoked a little bit of weed. Like, I literally hit it like twice. And then this thing happened, right? I could tell you, like, exactly what happened from my experience, but honestly, from outside perspective, all that people would have seen was this. Okay, because what was going on in my mind was not... And I reached ultimate bliss. I couldn't feel the world around me. I really legitimately felt like I was just existing. And that scared me, because there was so much to do still. And I was like, wait, no. So when I forced myself to snap out of that, to, like, focus on something again, just to be again, it was like hell. Like, what I saw is what my mind perceived hell to be to that point in my life. Like, fire was around me, right? And the animals that were in my life at the time, they were running by, and they looked like demons. Like, and I was panicking, but not in a scared way. It was just like, oh, wow, I'm in hell. Cool. Like, that's what happened. It was scary. It was scary. And since I was an atheist, what I convinced myself what had happened was that I was watching so many horror movies that I was just living a horror movie, right? But I really don't think that's what it was, because of what happened after, and which I'm going to explain if you give me time. But I wanted to get out of this perceived hell. It was not comfortable. The walls were melting, the things running around, the just feeling of loneliness, you know? It wasn't a good feeling. So I left it. I went into our house, right? Because I was in this area, but I was still in this area, okay? And my whole way up to my room, it was just experience after experience. Like, in a weird way, guys. No matter where I was standing, that was the world around me. There was nothing outside of it. I could not live outside of that. And no matter where I ended up, that was going to be my world, my end, my everything, right? No matter where I went. When I went to the bathroom, this is going to sound crazy, because yes, I still had to pee, guys. When I went to the bathroom, as soon as I closed that door, I felt like if I opened it again, space would be outside. Like, nothing. Nothing. Like, that was my world now, because that's what I decided. I snapped out of my ultimate bliss to be part of the world again, and what started was hell. The stairs, like, that was a weird one. The bathroom, until finally I went to a place that I felt safe, my room, okay? And I laid down. I couldn't handle it. I was just like, ugh. And every action I was doing was determining how the end of my world was going to look. And it was like in slow motion, guys. It really was. So, like, if I picked up my phone, whoever I contacted, that was going to be the end of the world with me. Or the end of my world with me. Like, and it's such a weird feeling to explain. But I felt like I had to figure out who was also close to that point of understanding so that they could join me. So I was thinking, like, my dad, he was the closest. I thought my sister Nikki, like, she was pretty close. I was thinking about these people in my life who, like, I know that we've been there, right? So maybe I can get them just a little bit further just so that they can be here with me. Because I don't want to be in this alone. I don't want to be in this alone. So eventually I just gave up because I couldn't think of a way to get somebody there with me. So I just gave up and turned everything off. And the next thing that happened was somebody came into my room, okay? And this person was somebody that I knew at one point and had passed away. And was this my mind conjuring it up? Maybe. Was this that person coming back to speak to me? Maybe. I don't know, guys. I don't. But I choose to believe that, because since I experienced this, I choose to believe it as real. And you don't have to. You don't. I'm just telling you my experience, so maybe you can take something from it. Because if you're struggling with the hell concept, this is what got me past that. Okay? Okay, so this person came into my room and they sat at the end of my bed. And this was somebody that I cared about at some point. And it's a really amazing relationship, but they had passed away probably 3 years before that. And they sat on my bed and I wasn't scared. I was just confused. So I just looked and all he said was, just listen. Just listen. And he touched my leg. It was gone again. But I was at peace because he just wanted me to listen. So then another person came to my room after he was gone. Sorry. Alright, another person came to my room after he was gone, and this person was also gone, and I had never met this person before. But it was a person who, at one point in history, saw what I'm seeing, but instead of using it to unite, he used it to gain power. And everybody knows who this person is. It wouldn't be hard for you to guess. He hurt a lot of people with his perceived power. He did. And he came in my room, and all he said was, and he was speaking in English, guys, even though that's not his language. I don't know if he knew English, but for my mind, obviously that's how we communicated. That's just how we had our understanding. And he said, do you want to know what hell's like? I just said, yeah. I needed to know. I wanted to know. So I said, yeah. And my room changed. It changed. And this is what I experienced. I was standing next to a wall, okay? And when I looked, what I saw was somebody chained up against the wall and somebody torturing the person chained up against the wall, okay? I experienced this for maybe 5 seconds. It wasn't a big thing, just enough to see it and feel it, okay? Then my position changed, all right? I was seeing something now. I was seeing somebody stand up against the wall. There's somebody in front of me chained up, okay? And I was abusing this person. Not for a long time, 5 seconds, just enough to experience and feel it. It changed again. This time I was seeing something. I was seeing somebody watching me, just standing there, and somebody torturing me, hurting me, and I just had to take it. I didn't have control, guys. I was being tortured, and the thing is, everything I experienced was something that I did. Like, I committed those actions, and so the only way I was gonna learn from them was to experience the pain that I caused. That's it. So, did I realize that at that point? No. What happened was I came back, and I was back in my room, and he said, do you get it? And I said, no. So he just explained it to me. He said, every person that you cause harm to, or like have the ability to intervene but don't, which is also causing harm, you are going to live their life from the day they were born to the day they die, just so that way you know every pain they felt before you did this, how it affected them, and how they had to live with it. You just have to feel the pain that you caused. But there is redemption possible, always. But he told me that he's going to be in hell for a very long time because he hurt a lot of people. So he has to live their life from the day they were born, and every way that he hurt these people, he's going to experience it. That's why after that point, like, it was way harder for me to hurt people because I'm sorry, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live your life from the day you were born to the day you die because it's exhausting, guys. It is. So that's what helped me deal with hell because I do believe an eye for an eye. I do believe if I hurt you, I should experience how that feels unless you choose to forgive me. Which is why I say if you don't forgive me, that is my consequence because I'm going to feel how I made you feel. That's all my hell is. And, you can honestly make it whatever you want, whatever makes you comfortable with just being able to accept your consequences. So I realized that I explained what I saw. I did draw it. I didn't finish it, but I'm just going to show you guys just so you have a visual. Take it how you want. It's art, so however you want to see it. But so however you want to see that. That's my view on the boundaries of religions and our perceptions of things. If you gained something from this, great. If you didn't, just think of it as a story, then we don't have to fight about it. I'm open to your opinion. I want to understand because we all have a piece to this puzzle, and I don't have it all yet. I do feel like if I decide I can pull the Buddha, that I'll do that, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready.